I 53F am married to my husband Dan 59M. Dan has 2 kids, Jack 35M and Adam 31M with his ex, and I have 2 kids 29M and 27F with my ex. As a blended family, our kids have all been supportive and they were all out the house by the time we started dating, so they didn't care. All of our kids have children, so for all my grandchildren I have knitted a blanket for when my grandkids first leave the hospital, which has been a tradition since I made the first one. Adam has recently introduced us to Kate 30F, his co-worker. Kate was married and Adam was dating Sarah 33F, who at the time was pregnant with my grandson, Adam and Sarah's second baby, when Kate and Adam started their affair. Kate realized she was pregnant, so she got a divorce and Adam broke up with Sarah. Adam and Kate's relationship has not gone down well with anyone, with Dan and Jack refusing to see Kate or Adam. Dan's ex cheated on him, which is still a sore topic for Dan and Jack, as he remembers his mom and why they have especially struggled. Through this, I have maintained a relationship with Sarah, who is really struggling. Her family haven't spoken to her since she had my granddaughter Annie 3F without being married. Adam didn't go to a single appointment for Sarah and instead I have gone with her, which has created a rift between me and Adam as I refuse to go with Kate. The blankets I make are very intricate, and take months to make as I make them slowly. I decided to only make one for Sarah's baby and not Kate's. Adam never asked for a blanket, so I assumed he understood I was not making him and Kate one. I maintain a civil relationship with Adam, but I am also upset at how he treated Sarah, and how he now ignores her and their baby. Sarah recently had her baby and I was with her whilst she was in labor. I gave her the blanket and she posted her baby's hand and the blanket on her social media. Adam has contacted me to say Kate is invested in having a blanket for their baby, and he told me how much it would mean to them, as Kate has no family and they want their child to be part of the family and think that we will all come around later. I am on the fence. I am angry for Sarah and her baby, but Adam is family and I don't want to make rash decisions that can cause more drama in the family, especially as Adam's and Sarah's 2 kids are involved, with Annie old enough to understand the dynamics. Comment 1. This is tough because that baby already has the deck stacked against them by having 2 seriously horrible people as parents, as well as being known as an affair baby, but you don't want to show acceptance of the mistress or the relationship. I think what I would do is make the blanket but not give it to the parents. You hang on to it and gift it to the child when they're older. Maybe take a photo of you and the baby with it, to have proof you did make it for them before they were born, before putting it up. Tell Adam that you made it because you would never punish a child for the wrongs committed by the parents, but you will not be giving it to him and Kate because you don't accept their relationship or actions and won't do anything to make it look like you do. NTA. Comment 2. I like this one. Make the blanket for the baby. Blanket stays with grandma until you're ready to give to the child. Do make the blanket for the baby though, you're not going to love this baby any less than your other grandchildren. Don't let the parents have the blanket, they don't deserve it, but the baby hasn't done anything wrong. Take photos showing you've accepted them from day one. Comment 3. NTA. I make quilts for new people in my family, so I understand the position you are in. If I were faced with that scenario, I don't think I'd make one for Adam and Kate's child either. Adam has to understand there are consequences to his actions. If he says it's not fair, I would gently point out that his children with Sarah aren't going to grow up with their father under the same roof, and that's not fair either. I'm an 18-year-old female, and I have an older sister, 29, who has 2 children, ages 8 and 4. Most of my childhood was spent taking care of her children while she went out to parties and such. Now that I'm going off to do a course in practical nursing to boost my resume for university, she's asking me to put my future on hold and look after her children so she can enjoy herself before I leave for university. The thing is, my mom warned me when I was young not to babysit or look after her children because of her attitude. I didn't listen. She also said this might be my sister being jealous because she used to go to nursing school but made friend with the wrong group. In the end she didn't pass her final exam, so she dropped out of school. So, Everything came to a head yesterday because applications for the course started yesterday, when I was talking to our mom about it. My sister heard that I applied, she got upset and started shouting about how selfish I am and how this is the only thing she's ever asked me to do, like I didn't spend my whole childhood from age 11 to now looking after and taking care of her children. I told her to stop being childish and that it isn't my fault she had children, and I'm not their mother. The children call me mom, they did for about 2 years, even when corrected, they still call me mom. Apparently, I should have said this sooner. She started yelling at our mom, saying I'm her favorite because if I wasn't, she would tell me to put my future aside and help her with her children. Our mom told her point blank that she would never tell any of us to put our future on hold. She said she gave us all the same opportunity, and it's not anyone's fault she didn't use hers wisely. Now she has children, and I'm going to take my life more seriously. She needs to take responsibility for her children because no one told her to have them, and she can't look after them. She started crying and left. Then my mom started yelling at me, saying she warned me from the very beginning, and I didn't listen. She said I need to stop being a pushover because I lost my whole childhood when I was supposed to be outside playing with friends, going out, and just being a kid. I was babysitting like I gave birth. She said it's my fault my sister became so entitled because when she made plans for me to go out, I would cancel to watch the children. She's not wrong, I would always feel sorry for my sister because she knew how to manipulate me just because I don't like to see people suffer or be sad. Comment 1, NTA, stop providing her free child care. She needs to pay you or to find alternative child care resources. Alternatively, you can ignore the advice above if any of that puts a stop to plans for your future. You are allowed to put yourself first and let your sister manage her own family. Comment 2. NTA. Also, your mom is dead wrong. This isn't even you enabling your sister. You were 11. You were a child. If you were 16 or 17, yes, you could have said no yourself. At 11, your mom shouldn't have been letting you babysit any more than an hour or 2 a week. Even then it's questionable. However, stopping that was your mom's responsibility. If she couldn't control your sister, she damn sure should have been in control of you and who interacts with you. Your sister has abused you through parentification and your mom enabled all of it. They are both failures in regards to how they treated you. Complete and utter failures. Comment 3. NTA, but your mom isn't blameless. You were a child, being asked to do something by an aggressive older sibling. This wasn't a you need to stand up for yourself moment. It was a mom takes care of her kids moment. She could have shut your sister down before you had to. She could have taken the heat off of your tiny shoulders. Parents take care of their kids. Seems like your older sister internalized lessons your mom never intended to teach. That being said, better late than never. I am 40 and my BF is turning 42 as well very soon. We've been a couple for almost a decade now, living together since right before COVID. When the pandemic hit, he lost his job and I kept us afloat with my own salary while he tried to get by, until he decided to go back to college because he never got any degree after high school. We discussed it. I was okay with him not working in order to support his studies. At first he really struggled with focusing and concentrating and almost gave up, but I noticed his improvements, encouraged him, and now he really is on a good track for excellent grades. Later this year he will get this degree and has already some good ideas about what to do after. What really has been bugging me lately is the fact that for the past year he'd been going out with some friends he made at college. Literally dudes in their early 20s, young adults, while he is twice their age. Now, he can really pass for way younger than he is, you know, that sub 13 or 30. And I guess they took him for a late 20-something. What initially started with I am going out to study with them ended up him crashing at somebody's place drunk because they partied too hard. I know he is not cheating on me, I follow them on Instagram and I see what they do. Just guys being dudes, I guess. The problem is I need him functioning because we have stuff to do around the house and I rely on him since I am at the office all day. We don't have kids, but you know, commitments and errands like adults. When I confronted him about his behavior, he defended himself saying that he never got to experience the college life and he just wanted to have some fun. I was okay with it initially, but as the degree is approaching, they really are taking it too far. Now he is even talking about going for a vacation with them this summer. I was like, excuse me. Vacation with teenagers now? Maybe you should bring me for supporting you during all this mess. He said he would, but wanted to have one last shot at the college life he never had before parting ways forever with them. Eventually I had enough, and I sent a message to one of the dudes saying if they can please leave him alone for a while, because apparently I have to step up and be the only adult, besides he clearly cannot keep up with them and I am afraid this will affect his grades. He cannot go out as much as they do, he has responsibilities being almost 40 and stuff. Well, they distanced from him ever since. He was enraged when he found out and I said I would have preferred if he did it himself, but apparently he was so enthralled by the college life that, for a moment, I really thought he self-convinced to be 20s again. He stopped speaking to me, and said he wants to focus on his final exams. Comment 1. This is tricky because your boyfriend shouldn't have lied about his age, but I personally think you messaging his college friends makes YTA. Mostly because you don't say what is slipping through the cracks because of his hanging out with them. It sounds more like you're jealous that he is having fun without you. I don't mean anything over the top by saying jealous, I just can't think of a better word for it. I went back to college as a 23-year-old and felt like I was ancient. My first day back, someone asked me if I was a teacher. It embarrassed me because most people my age were either graduated or about to. So I can kind of understand why he wasn't up front with them. Comment 2. ESH telling his friends to distance themselves from him was pretty petty and controlling. Acting like a 20-year-old out partying with the guys and going on vacation with them was pretty immature, irresponsible, and disrespectful to the wife who is covering all the bills so he can play instead of focus on school. Did those guys even know he was married? Comment 3. YTA, if you had children he was pushing aside, sure, go nuclear. But as is, I think messaging the friend was absolutely nuts. It's great that you supported him this whole time, and maybe he's an ass for not being more grateful and regressing so hard. But there's also no way he knew your love and support was this conditional with the threat of destroying his social life. Okay, so, my mother-in-law. Or actually I will start with my wife Tara. Tara is lovely and wonderful. Tara also escaped from her little Midwestern hometown and ran to the coast the absolute moment that she could, and I am pretty sure her mom took that personally. Her mom was born and raised in and around that small town. So my mother-in-law. She is emotionally immature. Tara read that one book about immature adult parents and she finally understood her family dynamic in a way she never did before. Mother-in-law is not a bad or evil person, she usually means very well, but she's kind of, I don't know how to put it, self-centered. Like her first thought process is always how do I feel about this new information. Tara and I bought a little starter home last year, duck interest rates but we're hoping they come down and we can refinance. The place was too good to pass up, and her mother-in-law invited herself over last week. This is something that is extremely on brand for her, and we like to pick our battles in this family, so we just let her. Her mom, who again is not terrible, just as bad emotional regulation and boundaries, shows up and drops her stuff in the spare room and just immediately starts giving herself the tour. Again, whatever, we actually hired a cleaner before she arrived so we wouldn't worry. Annoying, but that's life. So she's wandering around and comes to our bedroom. I have a jumbo-sized tub of generic Vaseline next to my bed because I use a nose CPAP and my lips get chapped, so she picks it up and makes this really weird face and says, almost direct quote, "Well, I know what this is for." And I respond, "Oh, that's for chapped lips, I don't jay off with Vaseline." Apparently my timing was good because my wife laughed but my mother-in-law did not laugh at all. Then for the next 3 days she kept asking me, "Are you gonna be gross again?" when I tried to make normal conversation. I said over and over that she was the one who made the joke and her response was always yeah, but that was a joke. Like what I said was totally serious. And I guess it was, I mean, I was telling the truth, but I was only bantering because she started it. I didn't even invite her into our bedroom. Anyways, she brought it up over text to Tara, and there is subtle pressure from her to just apologize, but I don't think I did anything wrong. Comment 1. NTA, she tried to make you blush but then gets mad because you made her blush is what this basically boils down to. The next time she says something about it, I would just be like, how much do you think about this one comment? The fact that it seems to be at the absolute forefront of your mind is making me almost as uncomfortable as the original joke. Can we just bury this entire incident? OP comment. Yeah, I think I might have been more direct than she's used to. I am mostly worried about my wife, who gets to be the middle person here. She finds it harder to set boundaries with her mother. I would gladly tell my mill to just stop and go away if she wants to talk about it. Comment 2. NTA, I'm only sorry you didn't keep up the banter every time she asked you if you were going to be gross. Only if you want me to. Is it called for? You mean talk about jerking off? I won't be gross if you won't be nosy. Etc. Don't apologize, don't encourage your wife to apologize. If she brings it up in the future in front of other people, be sure you let them know she was snooping around and quote her exact words. She's an adult, for God's sake, she can dish it out but can't take it also. Include small pot of Vaseline in future gifts, wink wink.